Hey, Kansas City, it's time for Going Green with the King on 1140 AM KCXL, 1160 KCTO. We are Kansas City's first all-green talk show. I'm here once again with my Queen of Green, Trish. Say hi to the folks.
Hey, Kansas City.
Once again, we are all green all the time. We are your first all-green talk show. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have Bob Featherston from Shred Time. Bet you didn't know that there's certain size pieces of paper when you shred that you cannot recycle. So you need to stick around and listen for that information. We're going to go ahead and take a break. You are listening to Go Green with the King on 1140 AM KCXL 1160 TO. Well, Kansas City, we are joined today by Bob Featherston from Shred Time. Bob, why don't you tell the folks what your title is, because it's a pretty good title, and what exactly you do for Shred Time.
You bet. Well, I'm excited to be on here, Gary. Thanks for the opportunity. My title is Vice President of Sales and Marketing with Shred Time, and Shred Time is a division of media services, and that's Kansas City's only locally owned full-service record center. And what I do is help build our business through some sales and marketing, managing the sales team, but also meeting with customers and looking for innovative ways to build and grow our business here in the Kansas City metro. And we've been here since 1996.
Well, you and I met at the 25 Under 25 awards ceremony this year, and congratulations for winning that award.
Thank you very much. We're excited to be part of that, part of the award winners, that's for sure.
And one thing we had talked about, obviously I told you that I wanted to talk green, and what your company was doing to be a greener company, or what efforts there were out there that you were seeing to be green. Why don't you tell the folks a little bit about what you do to be a greener company?
Yeah, you bet. We do a number of things, and we're always looking for more innovative ways to do things. So sometimes we've done some things recently. Sometimes it's things we've been doing. I'd say first off, all of our facilities here in Kansas City are underground. We're in a couple different underground complexes throughout the metro, and we have more than 100,000 square feet underground. And, of course, being underground creates so many more advantages for being green, especially from the environmental perspective and what you have to use to heat and cool the facility. It's just a totally different environment to begin with. And Kansas City has some great underground complexes throughout town. Specifically, we're in the Hot Midwest Underground in North Kansas City, and the Maritex Underground Complex in Lenexa. So that alone really sets some things up differently for us. You don't have to heat and cool as much, which creates a lot less demand on the electricity grid. Another thing we do, we have a large facility. Our record centers are large warehousing type facilities, which demands a lot of lighting. So we have the lighting that gets turned on and activated by motion sensors. So if nobody's in there, we don't have to worry about, remembering to turn the lights off. They're going to automatically go off. So, and we don't have natural light, which would be a good addition, but being underground, you just don't have that option. So the lighting that's on the motion sensors really creates some real advantageous scenarios for not using as much power, just because you don't have to, you always forget to turn light switches off, and when you're in a really large facility, you can't run to the other side to turn the light switch off when you're in a hurry to get out of there. And then we also, one of the things we started doing from a facility perspective, we do have, like any business, we have trash that we're going to send out, and we put it in the dumpsters and have a company that comes and picks it up. One of the things that's different about us that we started doing recently, the company that we use, we have a large dumpster that has a compactor, and it's goes on a garage bay door, one of our dock doors, which is sealed, so you can't dumpster dive in it. But when that gets full, they come and they pick it up, and all of our trash gets incinerated, and then the leftover, once it gets incinerated, gets reused, gets recycled into concrete for slag and concrete. So the facility perspective things we do, really, I don't know how much greener you can get and still have an efficient facility for what we do. But then we also, with Shred Time, in our shredding company, we shred tons and tons of paper per month. We're sending out semi-load after semi-load of bales of paper, so that is recycled. So, that's just kind of the after product of once you destroy those secure documents, it is shredded. And one of the things that we do when we destroy them at our plant-based, when we do plant-based and on-site shredding where we can take the shred truck to the customer's parking lot and shred it. But most of the shredding is done at our shredding plant here in North Kansas City. When that paper gets baled and it goes into these big, huge 1,500-pound bales of paper, that paper is then sent to recycling mills. Well, we demand and we dictate that paper is only sent to recycling mills here in the United States. And we track it with a bill of lading and secure loads of paper to those recycling facilities. One, we feel it's more secure, but also we strongly feel it's more environmentally friendly, just because of the EPA's regulations on how recycling plants operate are stringent. You can't dump the chemicals into rivers or just discard the chemicals from recycling plants as you wish. Which in the recycling industry, you hear rumors about that going on internationally. We've heard those rumors for years, and you've seen some. There's been some things on some different news organizations as well on that. So we keep the paper here in the U.S., and that's huge as far as making sure it's recycled in a practical manner. But also when it is destroyed, you hear a lot of things, and this is getting into some of the nitty-gritty on records destruction and shredding. When it is destroyed, you hear a lot of talk about diamond cut or cross cut or getting it down as small as you can. But one of the things to keep in mind is when you shred that paper, you cut any piece of paper, what you do is you cut those paper fibers that are on that paper. And when you cut a paper fiber, the mills can't do anything with it at that point. It's useless to them. So every time you cut a piece of paper that's recyclable, they don't really like to receive shredded paper. They'd much prefer full sheets of paper, but they take it and use what they can anyways. And when we shred at our plant-based, it is a strip shred, which is an industry standard. So more of it's going to be recycled than if you get it down real small. We've had clients want to get it real small, but we have other security standards in place to help alleviate any worries that would be with a strip shred. So we're doing a lot of action steps to making sure we're being green and having a good solid approach to green records management as well.
Now, Bob, what size you said on the shredding of the paper? Mm-hmm. If it's cross shredded and all diamond cut up and everything else, mm-hmm. You just cannot recycle that paper. Is that true?
It's harder for them to recycle, and you're going to have to talk. It depends on the mill, but the smaller it gets, I'll put it this way, the less they're going to want to mess with it. It just doesn't. We've had customers, some, real high security documents, and all documents are high security that we destroy, but some wanted a litlittle more attention to where they wanted it down almost into, the size of a kernel of rice, let's say. And the recycling plants, they looked at it and they told. I remember the gentleman telling me right in the face, like, we can't do anything with that. You're going to have to throw that away. So you can't recycle it. So the more you cut it, and everybody wants it down smaller and smaller, which is fine. Just keep in mind, it's probably not going to be recyclable, especially if the mills are busy and they got lots of scrap paper coming through. Why would they want to mess with something that they have to put more effort into recycle when they can go to something that doesn't take as much effort and they can make more money on it faster?